Hi guys, Black Rose back. It is time for us to meet Resident Evil. This is the first game that I was ever introduced to when it comes to the Resident Evil series. So I'm kind of familiar with it, but it is still very easy to get lost in this game. So, like Resident Evil 0, I'm going to have a walkthrough at the ready in case I get lost. Just because it's been so long since I played this. And unfortunately for me, the remaster, while yes, it's pretty much still the same game, the remaster is a little bit different. Um, you can choose between two different characters for this. You can either be Jill Valentine or Chris Redfield. Regardless of who you pick, you always have an NPC that helps you out, kind of like in Resident Evil 0 with Rebecca and Billy. Jill Valentine gets a person named Burry to help her, while Chris gets Rebecca Chambers from Resident Evil 0. So for this one, I'm actually going to make it interesting and do Chris Redfield just so I can actually say we got to see Rebecca again. And I'm going to leave the subtitles on because I can't always keep up with what they're saying. And plus, I'm noticing when I have my mic on, you can't always hear the game. It's never a win-win. So this one is asking you basically how you want it. So climbing a mountain, fulfilling but takes a lot of work, is hard. 2, like going on a hike, good exercise but not too strenuous, is medium. Like taking a walk, you can relax and enjoy yourself, that's easy. And considering I'm rusty, I'm going to go easy. So this is Chris Redfield, and this is Jill Valentine. You are a STARS operative, and you can choose if you want the BSA agent Chris or the old classic Resident Evil. They remade it to where you could actually choose which version of Jill Valentine you want and which version of Chris you want. So the Jill Valentine BSA and Chris BSA is for the remake, whereas this version is for how they made the game originally. So this is Chris. I'm going to say probably, I don't know. What do you think, Random? Should I do the
Not that one, the other one.
this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he looks more like if he was going into like
True.
combat field in my book.
True. So we're going to go with the BSA Chris, which is where he's a little bit more well trained. Now, if you want to keep them how the game has them set up originally, you can. It really doesn't make a difference which version you use. The game will still be the same. It's just how they look. And yes, Albert Wesker is involved in this as well because he's the captain of our team. Bizarre murder cases have recently occurred in Raccoon City. There are outlandish reports of families. And we get to go back to Raccoon City in Resident Evil 9.
The Bravo team was sent in to investigate, but we lost contact. Bravo team's helicopter was a derelict. Save for the remaining body of Kevin.
Hi, Wesker.
Continued our search for the other members, and it turned into
There's Chris.
a nightmare.
There's Jill. And there's Barry. So the guy with the red bandana is the one who stays with Jill, I believe. Zombie dog. Apparently not, because he just became zombie dog food. Oh yeah, it says his name is Joseph, so yeah, no, that's not him. Nice shot, guys. Nice save there, Wesker.
There are only 3 STARS members left now. Captain Wesker, Jill, and myself. We don't know where Barry is.
Is everyone all right?
Barry? Where's Barry? He's...
No. What was that?
I'll go and check it out. All right. Jill and I will stay and secure this area.
Chris? Take care.
And now we are in control of Chris. And welcome to Resident Evil Mansion, where this originally started after the GameCube released Resident Evil 0. Okay, so this is a dining room. Ink ribbons are going to be your friend again because there's going to be no other way to save. And just like last time, it's going to have a lot of backtracking, a lot of puzzles to solve. I believe there is a puzzle to solve with the emblem, but for right now we don't need it. So we're going to leave it there for right now. I'm just looking around. So it's saying the first thing to do is to, of course, go down the piano room hallway, which is going to be this hallway here. All right. And once you're in control of the character, regardless of what style you want Jill and Chris to wear, they take over that. Chris, for the most part, doesn't have a gun for a little bit yet. Okay, we want to go in here because we want to see him. Our first zombie. We pick up our gun after we take this thing out. Oh, get off of me. Not again. Get off of me. Okay, so technically we were supposed to go back into the dining room here before taking on the zombie and go into the main hallway where we left out Albert Wesker and Jill, and get a handgun.
Wesker? Jill? Where did we go?
Knowing Wesker, no, we're good. Okay, so this is like a really, really big maze. So, like the training facility back in RE0, there's multiple rooms to go through, lots of puzzles to solve, and unfortunately, a lot of backtracking. I gotta remember how to work Resident Evil 1 versus not. The little thing that looks like a light detector is your health. Right now it's saying caution because we got nommed on pretty good by that zombie, so that's my bad. We should run into like some first aid. Uh, anyway, sorry. Um, Depending on who you decide to be, Chris versus Jill, will um If you play as Jill Valentine, you'll get a grenade launcher at this point. If you're playing as Chris, all you get is your handgun, a shotgun, and different things. Each character only has 6 slots, just like last time, so we'll have to keep in mind how much stuff we pick up as we go. So I'm going to try to be a little bit more cautious of what we pick up unnecessarily. So until we need an item, I'm just going to leave it there. There is a hidden doorway back here, so that's another thing to keep in mind, but it's not going to be unlocked right now, so we'll have to deal with that later. Like in Resident Evil 0, a lot of these doors are going to be locked and need a special type of key to get them unlocked. And we're going to be getting a lot of keys because there's a sword key, there's a club key, a heart key, pretty much the whole suit of card keys. So yeah, you'll have a heart, a diamond, a spade, and a clover. Just like in a card deck, you'll have a sword one. I think there's an armor one. And I think that's all the different types in here, but I'm not 100% sure. So the first thing we're going to do So yeah, it's just a lot of repeats. We're going back into the dining room. The first key we're going to go after is going to be the sword key because that's our first initial key that we're going to need for essentially everything. So we already took care of the zombie that's back in here, but saying basically go back where we found our buddy. We already got the videotape that was on our friend, which we can view later. He'll become a zombie later, so don't think he's down for the count just yet. We're to go through this door, which will lead to a birdcage situation. Okay, there's our birdcage. Okay, we got handgun ammo. Yay! And there's a couple green herbs. You're not going to stay there. I already know this. Yes. And unlike Billy back in RE0, Chris can combine herbs, which makes this a whole lot easier. Let's see if I can actually, nope. Okay, good to know. Okay. For the super long staircases, it'll still do the old school graphics of slowly going up the stairs. Haha. Now we're good. Oh, there's another one. A lot of the items or the zombies we run into initially are going to kind of be playing dead for a while. Let's see, once we get that. Oh, hello, zombie. Come on. Okay. I'm not gonna waste a bunch of ammo. Okay. Welcome to the Hall of Spears. We want to pick up this magazine. These mirrors come in handy. And it says to go ahead and take the golden arrow. So this is a hallway, and according to this, there's only one door we can go through, which is the one here on the right, because the one here will be locked. And I believe we come back through there, so we'll go through. How did we unlock the door? We didn't pick up a key. We must have lockpicked it. Okay, so when you first come out here, we're back in the dining room, just on the upper staircase. Once you deal with that zombie, you're pretty much free to roam around up here. At some point, we're gonna have to move this statue and break the sapphire out of her hand, and then the dagger has a point to it, but right now there isn't one. Okay. It's actually saying right now we need to actually go ahead and move this statue. Sorry, but I need your ruby. And down she goes. We'll get that later. Oh, I wonder if the daggers are a defensive item. Because it says to grab it, so we'll see if we can actually grab it. I'm just testing. Yep. Okay. So. Oh. Hello, map. So it's showing which ones were still in progress and which ones we've gotten everything out of. And right now, we should have everything in this area. So it looks like it says to go through a different door. So we'll see if we can even go here. Oh, look, there's the sword door. I went the wrong way. Sorry, guys, I got lost here for a minute because it's like I'm afraid to go beyond that statue because if I remember right, that's a weird puzzle that is not easy to solve, and I don't want to end up accidentally killing Chris so soon in the game and have an almost instant game over. I think I was supposed to go back to the dining hall, but we'll come back for the jewel later because we really don't need it right now. But just in case I make any mix-ups to where I accidentally kill Chris, let's save right here. And the nice thing about Resident Evil 0, or, well, it probably would have worked for 0 as well as 1, is you can override an existing save. And it's like, for this one, I didn't care if we overrode my play for Jill, just because I don't remember where I left off. And our goal is actually to beat Resident Evil 1. I have beaten this game many times. Or, well, not many times, but at least once. But I had a lot of help from a friend that wasn't Random Channel. And with the way he plays, as she knows very well from playing with him with me, he is very controlling. So it didn't really make it much fun. That sounded weird. That's a door we'll contend with later. Okay, so it's said to grab the dagger, head back into the main hall, which is where we are, and then go through the door in the middle of the room. And watch out for a zombie. Okay, so if we had gone out the way it wanted us to, the middle of the room would have been this one? Yeah, should have been. Okay, we're outside. I don't think I was supposed to come out here. Ah, it was supposed to come out here. Let's see. And there's your arrowhead. Luckily in Resident Evil, it's not so mean that we get attacked by a zombie on the stairs. Okay. So this is a book of curses, which we probably need to pick up. So there is another. Whoops. You're pushing the wrong key, the wrong button. Sorry, guys. Look, it's a sword key. So there's a little mini game that says, or not like a mini game, but a challenge here that is pretty much saying if all these are interacted with in a certain way, you pretty much awaken a boss or a group of zombies. And we're not really here for that right now, so we'll deal with the evil that they awaken later. Right now, we just go back into the mansion. Let me make sure there's. Oh, look, there's what looks like a. I don't know, some kind there. I can't wait till we get our partner, because once we get the NPC, we'll have more room to carry stuff. Anyway, our goal now that we have our sword key in hand is to go into the dining room from this door to get into the first sword key door. It's gonna say, hey, watch out, there's a zombie in here. It's like, yeah, we don't have to worry about the zombie now, because we kind of already killed it, so we're good. We'll probably get another one spawned in this room at some point, but for now, we don't have to worry about it. Come on. Come here. I can hear you. Here, zombie, zombie, zombie. Well, you're coming up the stairs. Oh wow, that was a headshot. Hey, I thought it was coming around the corner. One coming up the stairs and the other around the corner past the stairs. Don't go through the first door you see. Although you can unlock it now. You'll notice a zombie on the floor after heading down the stairs. Are you serious? Do I have to come to you? Okay. So none of these doors mean anything. This door over here is going to be a sword key door. So since we're here, weird. The game walkthrough says we should have been able to unlock it, but we can't, so we'll figure that out later. Okay. Ignore the zombie on the floor that I just shot. And inside here is another save room. The nice part about Resident Evil 1, which I believe they've kept here, is that if you put anything in a box, you can actually find it in other save rooms. So, like, if you were to combine the ink ribbon, you can put the ink ribbon in there. You can put your survival knife in there if you want to put it in there for now. The way Resident Evil used to work, and I don't know if the remaster still does it, but the way it used to work is we could put stuff in that box and it would appear in every. What we leave here will appear in other rooms where there's a save box, which is super cool. Hopefully the remaster actually kept that, which I believe they did from what I remember from playing this again. If not, then we'll know where to come. But I think for now, just to give myself plenty of, well, not plenty, but at least a couple of extra spaces for storage, I'm going to leave the ink ribbon here just in case. And then I think okay, so it says as we exit the save room, okay, so we got 2 more locked doors that we can't access yet, and the reason why they keep kind of focusing on those windows is later we'll have something we have to deal with down there. Okay, I think this was the other sword door. Okay, so this one. Warning, do not exit this room back to the main hall, as this will cause Barry to hand you acid rounds, making the shotgun inaccessible later on in the game guide. Please don't be the wrong door. Okay. Let's see. So then I think what it meant is there is another way to get to the main room other than how we're going. Because it says go back to the main room and this time head through the double doors on the east side. There's really no point to going into the space other than side of the cabinet unless you have the closet key. Oh, okay. So I think what it meant was like if you go through the wrong series of doors to the main floor, it'll cause Barry to give you items you don't need. So I think if we go through. Yeah, don't mess with those birds. Because once you make them mad, they are your worst nightmare. Trust me. We'll probably get to the room at some point where there's nothing but those stupid things. They are zombie ravens. They are nasty little boogers. Please don't tell me I triggered the berry situation. Okay, I didn't. Okay. So through these double doors is a small little puzzle to get the first floor map, which will come in handy. I know where the map is. I just know that first we kind of need to deal with something that's in here. Okay, I think we're clear. All right. So now we got a first floor map that shows us where we are, what locked doors we have. The gray doors are the doors we can access, or at least the game thinks we can, until we actually go there and it goes, nope, you need a special key to get this. But the nice part is that it actually marks where the typewriters are, which is super nice. Unfortunately, the typewriter in the dining room doesn't have a deposit box that the other one had, so we may need to backtrack a little bit when it comes time to save, but we'll just take it as it comes. Let's see. There's actually a dagger we want in here for our defense weapon. Well, I guess we're not getting that dagger back. Oh well. It says you can actually avoid him, but it's like, why avoid him when there's a 50-50 we may be back? So, this is the hallway where we could run into the zombie dogs again. There's like two areas where it's like you gotta be cautious with how much you go through it. to avoid zombie dogs, but I think as long as we're really careful and only go back through when we have the shotgun, we should be okay. We can go through it, just not come back the same way. Okay, we didn't pick up the extra dagger, but that's okay. We can make do with just one as long as we're cautious. Okay, so where are we? Okay, we're in this long corridor. It looks like we're heading to another save room, potentially. So we'll go back to that small room we just went past, because apparently that's the bathroom. Yep, bathroom. Alright, we'll take the whole key and leave the room. Okay, so we got some red herbs, some green. So for now, don't worry about the zombie dogs. They're just kind of there for now. I think I went to the wrong room. We'll be back for that because we need that shotgun and that ink ribbon. But right now I don't have room for anything. So I go to the room on the far left. Please stop doing that. There we go. Ha! Do I have a good memory or what? I found another save room. Alright. For now, I'm going to get rid of this chemical. I'm going to put this one in there. Alright. Take an old key again. So, this is going to be a lot of running around. And there's a lot to do. Resident Evil 1 is just as big, if not bigger, than Resident Evil 0. And it's a lot to cover in one sitting. So I'm probably just going to call it here, guys. I know we barely just got into Resident Evil 1, but we did make a lot of progress. We found a couple of keys. We got to find a third save room. It's just there's a lot to do, and it takes quite a bit to get it all done. And it'll probably take just as many parts to get through Resident Evil 1 as it will 0. So, yeah, I'm gonna call it here just because I know if I keep going, I can go on for 3-4 hours. So thanks for joining me for the start of Resident Evil 1, and I will see you guys on the next round. And on the next one, we will find more stuff to carry around, maybe solve a few more clues, kill more zombies, a few more zombies, you know, everything that entails Resident Evil. Anyway, have a good night, everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye!